Now at 9, Joplin police investigate a stabbing at a local apartment. Plus, a Carthage City Council meeting leaves some utility workers disappointed. We'll have details. And
a mom in Miami is raising awareness about congenital CMV. I'm Anthony Saviello with the story.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. Joplin police arrest a suspect in a stabbing at an apartment this morning. It happened at the North Park Apartments on East Newman Road around 8:40 a.m. When officers arrived, they found a man with a stab wound. That man was taken to the hospital and is said to be in serious but stable condition. Police say he was stabbed by his fiancée following an argument. She has been arrested, but formal charges have not yet been filed. Dade County, Missouri authorities today released the name of the suspect in an officer-involved shooting from yesterday. 54-year-old Wayne Edwin Simmons of El Dorado Springs was shot and killed after shooting at members of the Barton and Cedar County Sheriff's offices. Simmons was the suspect in an armed carjacking that occurred in rural Barton County earlier that same day. Authorities responded yesterday to a home in rural Dade County about the stolen vehicle out of Barton County. It was found in a barn on the property. When law enforcement searched the barn, they say Simmons was inside and gunfire was exchanged. Simmons was shot and later died at the scene. No officers were injured. And now to weather, Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy joins us.
Thanks, Jalen. Today actually turned out to be a pretty good day. Kind of hot out there. Temperatures mid to upper 60s, right where we should be for this time of the year. The record 103 set back in 1953. We have been nice and calm, but look at the clouds increasing to our west. Look at the storms increasing out to our west, just west of the viewing area. So there is a severe thunderstorm watch, really from Bartlesville out west. These are all the way down through central Oklahoma. Numerous severe thunderstorm warnings. Look at the overall movement, kind of southeast, but we are going to get some scattered thunderstorms in here a little bit later on tonight. For now, it looks okay. Mid 70s across the region as we go through the night. Some scattered thunderstorms. We drop back to about 65, 76 by 10. Of course, we're going to break it all down for you here in just a bit.
The city of Carthage, Missouri is reviewing budgets and trying to see if it's possible for the public workers to receive a pay raise. KOAM's Amber Jenkins spoke to the Carthage Water and Electric plant about their efforts for a pay raise.
The last City Hall meeting in Carthage was disappointing for some public workers. Carthage Water and Electric Plant submitted its budget for the year, including a pay raise. However, the City Council decided to hold off on the pay raises for the city-owned utility plant.
A Monday night effort was to freeze all compensation of all employees. I think during record inflation that our country is faced with right now, freezing compensation to last year's levels would be a mistake.
There was never any intention to remove pay or reduce pay or reduce any staffing at Water and Electric. That was never the intention.
City officials say they held off on the pay raises because they had the previous year's budget. They need to review the plant's 2024's budget.
The Budget Committee received a version of that information, although it was 2023 information. So not exactly what they needed, but and they made a decision based on the information they had.
The workers of the plant says there's no animosity or contention between them and the city. They believe the mayor is working in their best interest. After all, Carthage Water and Electric Plant stands out from other plants in the country.
Over a period of about 9 years, Carthage Water and Electric received the Diamond Level Award, which is our nation's highest award. Only about 1% of those 2,000 utilities across the country achieve that level award from our national association. And it takes into account workforce development, system management, system availability, and reliability indexes. And those are items that we look at, and financial management.
A great utility. Carthage is lucky to have them.
Reporting in Carthage, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
The second reading of the budget and final vote is scheduled for June 27th. In Iola, Kansas, the Allen County Multi-Agency Team put on their 10th annual Family Safety Night. Family Safety Night is an event to help support youth, families, teachers in the community by providing more than 25 booths to teach them public safety, how to call 911, and other tips on what to do if you're in an emergency.
Our 10th annual Family Safety Night. ACMAT partners with the Allen County Farmers Market every year. We want to promote a safe environment for all our community members to come out and have a good time.
In the partnership with the Allen County Sheriff's Department, they promote safe bicycle procedures. It's the third Thursday of the month, which means downtown Joplin was full of vendors and artists today. The month's sponsor was You Belong Here, a local equity, diversity, and inclusion organization. As always, it featured booths from dozens of area businesses and organizations, as well as some fun activities.
We work with the Chamber of Commerce, and we are really just trying to get everybody to realize that everybody belongs in Joplin. And so we work with, equality, diversity, and inclusion, and just really, as if you're breathing, you belong here. Third
Thursdays happen every month through October. June is CMV Awareness Month, and a mom in Miami, Oklahoma is putting on an event to help raise money for the awareness. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has the story.
Mackenzie Johnson is a 22-year-old mom in Miami, Oklahoma.
It's definitely different, but I don't think it's that much different, honestly. We have therapy appointments and a lot more doctor's appointments than usual.
What is so special about her baby girl? Well, little Janiyah was born with cytomegalovirus, or CMV, a disease that affects her hearing, sight, and motor functions. However, for this precious baby girl, CMV doesn't get in the way of her happiness. Little Janiyah is all smiles.
I feel like God has blessed me with something so wonderful, like that she gets to experience life just like us.
Mackenzie spends her days at home tending to Janiyah and making sure that her baby is able to do her favorite thing in the world as often as possible, spending time outside.
I have gotten a lot of support from family, more than I had thought I would have. And I appreciate it all, especially my mom. She's been there through it all.
Though baby Janiyah may have been dealt a rough hand, her mother wants people to know that her baby is just as special as anyone else's.
They're just like you. They comprehend just like you. They might not be able to speak or communicate with you, but they do in their own way.
So for Mackenzie, little baby Janiyah is a big ray of sunshine. Reporting in Miami, I'm Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
The event is open to any who would like to attend and will take place on June 17th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Boys and Girls Club in Miami. Coming up, we'll hear from some health experts about how to keep your teens occupied over the summer and away from the screens. A new report finds youth and young adults are dying from suicide and homicide at the highest rates in decades. The CDC is behind the report. The analysis found in 2021, suicide and homicide were the second and third leading causes of death for children and young adults ages 10 to 24 in the U.S. The homicide rate for this age group was also the highest since 1997, while the suicide rate was the highest on record since 1968. It's a challenge year-round, but especially over the summer. Kids may spend a lot of time watching screens to occupy themselves. Reporter Mandy Gaither has more on how to reduce kids' screen time this summer.
From gaming consoles to TVs, smartphones and tablets, children and teens spend a lot of time watching screens.
Most children, school-age children, are spending in excess of 7 hours a day on screens.
Wendy Palmer with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta's Strong for Life says recommended screen times vary based on a child's age, but for those old enough to go to school, less than 2 hours a day is the recommendation.
Screen time, when it is excessive, can impact sleep, it can impact physical activity, and most recently, the clearest evidence is really looking at the impact of excessive screen time on youth mental health.
To limit summer screen time, Palmer says to keep some school year routines in place. Set screen-free zones, especially in bedrooms or on short car rides. Use that time to talk to each other instead. Make a commitment to having no devices at dinner. That goes for parents too. And she says it's okay for your kids to be bored.
Boredom is a necessary component to kids really learning and adapting and figuring out how else can they entertain themselves.
Palmer says to encourage kids to be active and to play in person with others, whether that's outdoors or inside.
Drawing, thinking about writing, thinking about reading, really encouraging some of those behaviors that our kids may now associate with, well, I go to school and I do those things. Those are certainly opportunities at home.
Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast, and later, the Webb City School District announced it is renaming its high school football stadium after legendary coach John Roderick.
Well, it turned out to be a nice Thursday for us today. We've had partly sunny skies. Temperatures heated up a bit as we went into the mid to upper 80s for afternoon highs. Looks good right now. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Enjoy the long evening daylight hours, because by next Wednesday, when summer begins, our evening daylight hours start shrinking back up. All right, new drought tracker is out. Of course, we've had rain, but we're still not good. Most of us, at least, were dry. Moderate drought once you get toward Pittsburgh, and then it becomes severe and then exceptional. So we will take any bit of rain that we can get across the area. Temps right now sitting mainly into the mid 70s. If we go outside, 7th and range line currently sitting at 76. Winds are pretty much calm. Visibility is great. But we do have some clouds rotating in. Look at these on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. This is due to big time severe weather outbreak that's been really kind of going on across Kansas and Oklahoma throughout the afternoon into the evening hours. Nothing really here. We're just getting the trash clouds or the tops of those thunderstorms, which are starting to rotate in. But look at this big batch. So really just west of Wichita, all the way down through parts of Oklahoma, severe weather, northern parts of Texas. We've had several tornado warnings, but most of these are severe thunderstorm warnings at this point in time. So let's move just west of our viewing area. These are going to track southeast, but we are going to get some scattered showers and thunderstorms for at least part of us, especially on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side later on tonight. Now, this line will continue to weaken as it pushes in, so I'm not really concerned about severe weather, but of course something we'll keep our eyes on. You can see they're just west of our western counties and southeastern parts of Kansas. So this wave, you can see it on our upper level flow, this little kink, and then we got another one out here, a little kink toward Las Vegas. That's going to give us chances for showers and thunderstorms by Saturday. All right, look at the storms moving in. Next couple hours, weakening and falling apart. So that's why I'm not really concerned, but we are going to get some scattered thunderstorms in here as we go through the overnight hours. Overnight low down to about 65, back to 76 by 10 a.m. And then another pretty good warm up as we go through the daytime hours for us tomorrow. So in the morning, we start mid 60s, few hit and miss storms throughout the day, mid 80s by noon, a few isolated storms during the afternoon, high temps again into the upper 80s for highs. Tomorrow night looks good. Saturday in general looks good, but Saturday night we start to get a big line of showers and thunderstorms in here. Some of those, I mean, at least have a decent potential of being severe. So we want to watch that as we go through the next couple days. 87 tomorrow, 92 on Saturday. I have a 60% chance for storms. That is evening. The day is going to be dry. Morning storms on Father's Day. I think Father's Day in general looks okay. High temp of 85, 90s all next week.
So fingers crossed, and more than likely we're going to be able to still go outside and grill and be with the fam outside.
So it's Saturday night we got to watch.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Doug. Coming up, making higher education more affordable.
It's no secret college is expensive, but can anything be done to bring those costs down? I'm Mark Meredith in Washington. We'll take a look at two very different ideas on how to address the cost of college.
As millions of college borrowers anxiously await a Supreme Court decision on President Biden's student loan forgiveness program, Republicans in Congress are proposing their own plan to tackle the country's student loan crisis and hold schools more accountable. Fox News correspondent Mark Meredith has details.
It's graduation season, the end of school for most students, but for millions, it's also the beginning of a lifetime of debt. The debate over student loans is engulfing Washington, where Republicans say President Biden's efforts to wipe away some student loan debt will do little to help most Americans.
President Biden's scheme does nothing to drive the underlying cause of the debt crisis.
Senate Republicans unveiled their own legislative package to address college costs. Their proposal would require colleges to be more transparent about the prices borrowers can expect to bear.
This would prevent some of the worst examples of students being exploited for profit. It would force schools to bring down cost and to compete for students.
Data shows about 45 million Americans are saddled with federal student loan debt, amounting to more than $1.6 trillion in borrowed funds.
There are virtually unlimited amounts of money available to borrow.
Within months, the pandemic-era freeze on student loan payments will end. The White House says that's why it's eager to help borrowers and remains confident in its plan to extend forgiveness up to $20,000 in federal loans remains legal.
We continue to be confident in our legal, kind of a legal pathway here.
But the Supreme Court is considering the legality of their efforts and is expected to issue a ruling soon. The student loan crisis also becoming a campaign issue. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is pitching an idea which would force universities to be on the hook for some debt if a student defaults. In Washington, Mark Meredith, Fox News.
Students are grading their schools, and the average is a B-. A Gallup and the Walton Family Foundation survey asked American students from 5th to 12th grade to rate their schools. 2/3 of students graded their school an overall A or B. About a quarter gave a C grade, and 1/10 gave their schools a D or an F grade. The survey found the lack of mental health support for students, excitement on learning, and knowledge and potential jobs are what the students say they are most concerned about. Up next, a couple fast food chains are giving out freebies for the month of June. We'll take a look at some of the offers. I think you're going to like this. June is full of freebies for fast food lovers. Wendy's and Popeyes are both giving out free items when you order online through their apps. Each week of June, Wendy's will give a free item with different purchases. Customers could get a free crispy chicken sandwich or a 6-piece nugget depending on the week. In honor of their strawberry frosty coming back for the summer, Wendy's is giving out a small frosty treat with any purchase until June 21st. Popeyes fans can get an extra free side when they buy a chicken sandwich combo. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Our summer camp in Neosho, Missouri is giving kids with cancer a chance to have some summer fun. Plus, recognizing all the work waste and recycling workers do in our communities. Tomorrow is the last day of Camp Quality in Neosho, Missouri. The week-long event receives kids with cancer for fun activities. A pool, crafts, and even laser tag are included in the program. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has more.
Bethany started attending Camp Quality when she was 11 years old. Since then, she knew she wanted to continue being involved with the event, even after her time as a camper was over.
When you have cancer, everybody is like, oh, it's cancer. They don't see the kid. So it's a really great way to just have a week to forget about the treatment, all of the worries of having to deal with the cancer stuff, and it's just having fun.
Besides enjoying the fun she has with all the activities provided at Camp Quality, there is one special thing that has been making Bethany come back for the last 11 years.
I felt like I belonged, and it had been a while since I had felt something like that.
Whenever you have cancer, not a lot of kids have it, so then you know you're not the only one who's gone through something like that.
But Neosho is not the only city hosting a camp for kids with cancer this summer. Around the United States, more than 15 other camps are happening to show participants they are solid gold. The kids are not the only ones to leave Camp Quality with memories to cherish. Josh has been a volunteer at the camp for 6 years and says this was one of the best decisions he has ever made.
We get to be kids again, fun. So for the adults, it's fun for us even. It's experiences, for them and for us as well.
The overnight camp even has 24-hour medical care.
We make sure that they're able to do every activity here, and we just want them to feel like kids. Like sometimes, you know, when a child's diagnosed with cancer, that is ripped away from them at a very early age, and we just want to give that back to them for a week.
In Neosho, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
This year, 15 kids ages 4 to 17 participated in the summer event. To learn how you can help camp quality, go to KOAMnewsnow.com. Cyclists hit the road today as part of an 8-day journey across the Sunflower State. Biking across Kansas brings out hundreds of people to explore beautiful landscapes, points of interest, and meet people in different towns. Today they arrived in Chanute with only 2 days left in their journey.
We started in Elkhart, Kansas on Saturday, June 10th, with over 500 bicyclists pedaling their way throughout Kansas, stopping along the way to smell the roses, visit towns, visit museums, visit points of interest, historical markers, and enjoy Kansas people, places, and things.
Tomorrow they will go to Garnett. Then on Saturday they will end their journey by going through Pleasanton to reach the Missouri border. Nature Camp is a yearly 5-day camp running through Friday for children 1st through 3rd grade. During Nature Camp, the campers get to learn about different aspects of nature with a new theme each day. Today they focused on mammals and dug up bones like archaeologists would.
That we go outside and go on walk. Sometimes I even can see some cute animals.
Oh really? What animals do you see?
Like on this day's walk, we saw a bunny.
Nature Camp happens every year for 1st through 3rd graders. Pittsburgh's week-long Festival of the Arts continues today with a 1-day summer youth band camp. It's all for all area high school musicians. It's directed by the Pitt State Music faculty and organized by PSU band director Andrew Chabowski. The band camp included rehearsals, master classes, and a lot of fun.
Like a lot of camps, this is a great opportunity for them just to kind of get together and play. You know, if they're at a small school especially, they get to play with maybe a bigger ensemble than they're used to. But this one in particular, we're focusing on some things that large band students don't normally get to do, and that's improvisation. You know.
Pittsburgh's Festival of the Arts continues through Sunday. The world didn't waste any time this week celebrating the men and women who keep our communities clean, and that goes for right here in the 4 states. KOAM's photojournalist Trevor Lewis took a trip over to the SCK Recycling Center in honor of National Waste and Recycling Workers Week to meet the people behind the scenes and to see how the job gets done.
There is so much trash that is produced every day, and if everybody just does a little bit to take care of what they produce, it would make such a huge difference. I mean, we keep thousands and thousands of tons of trash out of the landfill every day just by recycling common things that you buy at the grocery store every day. So, I mean, if we want to keep this earth looking good for future generations, it's very important. Generally, like when the public comes in through the tunnel, they assist everybody, they pull their recyclables out of their vehicle.
Sort, we categorize, and most importantly, we make sure it's all together. I like about my job, we're really family oriented, and just it's never a dull day.
I love the people. You know, I got my regulars that come in, and it makes me happy to see them every day, and it feels good to know that you're doing something to help the environment and future generations.
We appreciate the hard work, guys. And there are plenty of ways you at home can make differences this week. Take part in a recycling program in your own community or learn about your community sanitation needs and find out how the system works. A bit later, we'll take a look at how you can spoil all the dads in your life without breaking the bank.
Well, of course, it turned out to be a pretty good Thursday for us today, but we do have thunderstorm chances in the forecast. A chance tonight and then again Saturday night. So we're going to break that down for you as we go through the next couple minutes. All right, mid-70s right now. Let's go outside, 7th and range line. Currently sitting at 76. Winds are calm, visibility good at 10 miles. But look at the clouds increasing. These are the tops of the thunderstorms pushing into southeastern Kansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Thunderstorms just west of the region. These have been severe, but they should weaken as they start to push in. Everybody's dry now, but at least on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side, you will start to get scattered thunderstorms really here in the next hour or so, and then working off toward the east. But you can see the big band showers and thunderstorms really along I-35, Wichita, Oklahoma City, down through southern parts of Oklahoma. A ton of severe weather throughout this afternoon and into the evening hours. So these storms are just west of the viewing area. So if we zoom in, here's Independence, Fredonia, Neodesha, Sedan. As these get in, they should weaken. So tonight, I am not overly concerned about anything too strong or severe in the viewing area. You see this little kink in our upper level winds. That's our upper level wave causing those thunderstorms. Here's another kink out across parts of Utah. That's going to give us a chance for severe weather by the time we head into the weekend. All right, tonight, so here's midnight. Thunderstorms across Kansas and also Oklahoma really weakening as they push in. But we are going to have isolated storms across the region tonight. As we get into the morning hours, I think most of us look pretty good. So as we go through the overnight hours, we'll bottom out at about 65, back to 76 by 10 o'clock in the morning. So these storms weaken as they push in, but through the day tomorrow, we are going to have a few isolated storms. Hit and miss, I would say 70% of you end up staying dry. As we get into the afternoon, some isolated thunderstorms, high temps, 86, 87 degrees. Tomorrow's night's going to be fine, clear. We drop back into the mid-60s. Saturday, thunderstorms north of us, but we're going to stay dry. It's Saturday night. We get a band of showers, thunderstorms in here. These are going to start to develop at about 8, 9, 10 p.m. The ones that do get in here could be strong, possibly severe. The main threat with these Saturday night are going to be very gusty winds and large hail. Tornado threat is low, but it will exist. So we need to watch this over about the next 36 hours or so. All right, for us tonight, isolated thunderstorms, 87 tomorrow morning, isolated storms, and then evening storms Saturday into Father's Day morning. But I think most of Sunday looks pretty good. Monday, 90, 92 on Tuesday. Wednesday is the official beginning of summer. And it's going to be hot, high temp 92.
Yeah, those numbers are definitely indicative of what we would expect in summer.
Yeah.
We'll enjoy those low 90s now before we start pushing those triple digits.
Exactly.
All right, thank you, Doug. Coming up in sports, Missouri Southern softball hires a familiar face as an assistant coach. Plus, Webb City High School's football field has a new name. KOAM Sports Director John Dales has those stories and more after the break.
Webb City High School's football field is officially known as John Roderick Field at Cardinal Stadium after being unanimously voted on by the school board. This comes after Roderick announced his retirement in December after leading the Cardinal football program for the previous 26 seasons. Roderick posted a win-loss record of 315-35, most recently leading Webb City to a 13th state title in 2021. He has the most state championships of any Missouri high school football coach, 4 more than the next closest. He was also an all-state linebacker at Webb City High School in 1985. Pittsburgh State football still a couple of months away from kicking off his 2023 campaign, but remaining busy in the off-season. Today, the Gorillas host an individual camp for all positions with a slew of local players in attendance. The camp takes place in the Gorillas' indoor facility, and things are led by PSU head football coach Brian Wright. He says opportunities like these don't come along very often, so players that participate in the camp are getting a worthwhile experience.
Yeah, I think it's a great experience for all those involved. It certainly is for us on the coaching side. It is for these young guys out here having an opportunity to get coached by all the coaches at Pittsburgh State University. It's an opportunity for the parents to get out here and really watch their sons in a competitive environment at a great place like Pitt State.
If you've watched Missouri Southern softball the past few years, you've likely noticed the play of Josie Topai. She was an on and off the field leader for the Lions, and as of today, Topai is an assistant coach on MSSU's softball staff. And head coach Hallie Blackney says bringing her on the staff was a no-brainer.
Not often would I feel comfortable doing this. But Josie is very mature. It would take a very unique and specific individual for me to be okay with, having her coach within the same program that she played in.
Coach Blackney, she's been with me for 5 years at MSSU. We came in together. I played under her for 5 years. She really shaped me into being the leader that I was for the team, and as well as, inspiring me to continue that career in softball coaching.
Both Mink League baseball teams from the 4 states area are in action tonight. For the first time in a week and a half, the Joplin Outlaws play a home game. Tonight, they battle the Chillicothe Mudcats. Outlaws taking on Chillicothe from Joe Becker Stadium. Pitchers duel early on. Joplin starter Steen Lane gets a strikeout in the second inning of a scoreless game. Chillicothe starting pitcher Carter Muck doing the exact same in the bottom half of the inning. He had 2 strikeouts looking. Game remained a scoreless tie until the 3rd inning when a base hit for Chillicothe got things started. That was already with a man on, and both of those base runners would come around to score after a couple of bases loaded walks. 2-0 Mudcats top 4 in more trouble. First, again with the bases loaded, an RBI fielder's choice with 1 out. Then here comes a delayed double steal that works to perfection. The ball gets away, and the Outlaws, down 4-0 at that point, down 7-0 in the 9th inning. Meanwhile, across the state, the Nevada Griffins cap off a 3-game stint with the Jeff City Renegades. Mink League Player of the Week, Luke Matshiner on the mound for Jeff City, strikes out the first batter he sees. Renegades threatening in the bottom of the first. Aiden Bauman gets good contact to left field, but take a look at that diving catch by Sam Kapnoski out of Northern Iowa Community College. Keeps things scoreless. Jeff City doesn't get on the board then, but would come back in the second. Cam Durnan drills one up and out to right center field. That brought home 2 runners for the Renegades. This one close all the way through. Scores 2-0 Jeff City in the 4th inning right now.
Yeah,
Busy day of baseball, Jalen.
Oh yeah, for sure,
and
4
states.
And softball with Josie. Like Coach Blackney said, absolute no-brainer. Great player, and I'm sure being an alum, she's going to pour her all into that role.
Yeah, and also you really don't get that she just graduated this past May, so she has a connection already with all the players that were on that team this past spring that are coming back. It just makes a ton of sense.
For sure. All right, thank you, John. We're back with more news after this.
It's fun.
A retail industry group says Father's Day spending could break records this year. And if you're still shopping around for a gift, we have some valuable tips to help you celebrate without breaking the bank. Reporter Jen Sullivan has 3 tips to help you save on the special occasion.
Showering dad with love this Father's Day? You're not alone. Spending is expected to reach nearly $23 billion this year. The National Retail Federation says that would be an all-time high. It's predicting consumers will spend a record $196.23 on average. But celebrating Father's Day doesn't have to be expensive.
There is no better time to spend your money wisely than on the men in your life that you love.
Jessica Allen from the website Living Well Spending Less has some tips to help you save money while still expressing your love and appreciation for dad. Number 1, be intentional. As you might expect, some of the most popular gifts this year are clothing, gift cards, and personal care items. But Allen says consider crafting a heartfelt, personalized gift instead. It may be cheaper, and it's certainly more thoughtful than a store-bought item.
Get really specific. Do you have a movie buff? Can you plan early to go see a summer blockbuster?
Number 2, ditch the restaurant and host a grilling session. Buy a cut of meat or veggie that he loves. Have it ready for a weekend celebration and a playlist of all of Dad's favorite songs.
Just ask him, would you like to grill for us or would you like us to grill for you? You're going to save so much money when you plan and have that beautiful meal at home.
Number 3, plan a memorable experience. Take Dad on a hike, picnic, fishing trip, or any activity that he enjoys.
For these men, love is spelled T-I-M-E. And so how can you carve out some time in your weekend to spend some quality time with the fathers in your life?
Coming up, we'll take a look at what is new in theaters and streaming this week. From superpowered action to new animated adventure, we have a look at new movies this week with Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Meet the residents of Element City. The all-new animated adventure Elemental is in theaters nationwide.
Watch this!
Its tale is set in Element City, the home of fire, water, land, and air residents, including Ember and Wade, whose friendship challenges the beliefs about the world they live in.
Oh my God!
Also on the big screen is the Flash, who travels back in time attempting to change the past, but altering the future and seeking Batman's help when trapped in an alternate reality with General Zod. The Blackening? The horror, comedy, and social satire The Blackening is based on the comedy sketch, taking on the genre trope where the black character in the horror movie dies first, as it follows friends at a cabin in the woods for a Juneteenth weekend getaway, forced to play a killer's twisted game.
How long can they keep us in Asteroid City?
Starting in limited release is Wes Anderson's Asteroid City, about world-changing events disrupting a 1955 junior stargazer space cadet convention in an American desert town.
He told me to find the reason I fought my way back.
On Netflix, Chris Hemsworth leads the action-packed sequel Extraction 2, as Australian Black Ops mercenary Tyler Rake back for another deadly mission after barely surviving Part 1.
That's a camera wrap on the creator of Iron Man.
While Stan Lee gets his origin story with Disney Plus, adding an original documentary all about the legendary comic book creator.
There are so many bad things in the world that if you can entertain somebody for a while, it's a good thing.
Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Man, those look really good. But that's our time for tonight, and thank you all so much for joining us. But before you go, we'll leave you with a video of Sumatran tigers at a London zoo. Be safe, and we'll do this all again tomorrow. See you then.